one fire in particular in 1987, it was before the work rest standards were met. So it was a 21-day assignment. And I missed my son's first day of school. And being away, I have 2 little kids. My husband is just, when are you coming home kind of thing. And got covered in poison oak. I'll never forget that. We were cutting poison oak with chainsaws on that fire. And we had been assigned to this one drop point because infrared had been picking up a hot spot, and we dug and dug every tree, every stump, every small depression, nothing. Well, it was under the road. And we dug this, it looks like bombs went off there, but it was under the road and the fill was burning. But I will never forget that, of just this feeling of just, when are we going to get out of here, and being itchy and sore and all that kind of stuff. But the one thing that really stands out for me was with the shots in Glacier National Park. And I woke up at 2 in the morning thinking I was seeing things, but it was the Northern Lights. And it was just strobing. And so I woke up, the guys next to me, and they're not, just let us sleep. And I said, no, you've got to see this. And pretty soon the whole camp was awake looking at it. And we were so tired the next day, just, how you are on the bus, just like that. But it was so cool. I'll never forget that. And listening to Robert Palmer in the back of the Zigzag Hotshot bus driving down to Klamath Falls. And people were just, kind of half asleep. And just that whole album, I know it by heart by listening to that. It was so great. So it was fun. And coming back from Palm Springs one time, we were flying on a United flight. And it was a contract flight, so it's all firefighters, all smelling like smoke. And it was just one of those things. And he flew over Lake Tahoe, and he goes, oh, and if you look out the window to the right, you'll see Lake Tahoe. Well, everybody, of course, got up, and he dipped the plane. Not everyone at once, not everyone. People are jumping to the other side, and the pilot is laughing his head off back before, I'm sure he wasn't supposed to do that, but that was so fun. And we stopped Paul Gleason on the way home. We'd picked up the van in Klamath Falls, and we're driving through Eugene. And he goes, we need to stop for dinner. And it just happened to be at a hotel in Eugene that the state sheriff's convention was happening. So Paul goes in, he hears music, and he goes in and asks the sheriffs, would it be okay if my crew came in and danced for a while? So here's all these people in suits, and they're all, they had their little drinks clinking and stuff, and we show up in our fire gear. And Paul, who was quite an extravagant dancer, he would just take up the floor. He just was in a whole different world. And people are out there dancing, and all the sheriffs are kind of standing back. And we just kind of danced for a little while, had some dinner, and drove home. It was great. I loved it.